There we go. Doing good. How are you? All right. We are officially live. How's everybody doing today? Here, let's hang out. Let's hang out for a few minutes and talk and chat. And then after we get some people in here, then we'll start the real part of the stream, okay? Hazy, how we doing? Yo. No actual building today. So the plan is for today's stream, we're going to spend some time and we're going to price out what it would take to build a PC and what you can get from a PC out of something that costs the same as a PS5 Pro. Now, this would be if you were building it yourself. If you were having someone like me build it for you, obviously it would cost more because I have to ship it to you and obviously I have to make money on it. But today what we want to do is see just what can you get from an AMD PC, an Intel PC, and from going with maybe finding some used parts to see how that lines up to a PS5 Pro in terms of performance. So I think it'll be a pretty fun. I think it'll be a pretty fun little adventure we're gonna go on today. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I just want to get the streams going, get some people in here hanging out. And yeah, see how it does. Let's see how it does. What do you guys think? So, what are some guesses on what we think we can put in? Let's say an all AMD PC. So AMD CPU, AMD GPU. What kind of specs do you think we can fit into an AMD PC? What do you guys think? For $700 is the total price. What up, Miguel? How we doing? What do you guys think we can fit in an AMD PC? $700 total for all the components. What do you think? Let's hear some names out there. What do we think we can put in it? I guess let's start with CPU. What CPU do we think we could fit in here in terms of like what fits our price? You don't know anything about PCs? That's okay. It's okay. Jimena Serrano, what's up? You spent around 1K on your kids 2 years ago, and I feel like it sucks. Hardly runs Warzone. Oh, no. Maybe I'm EJ coming in with a sub as well. We might have a bunch of sub things coming in here because we haven't streamed in a minute. So I don't think the activity feed shows offline subs, but it might show all of them now, not while we were offline. YouTube STXFRFN. What's up? How are you doing? I'm doing good. So what's going on here, Diamond? Today, we're not building a computer. We're going to spec out a computer that fits the budget of a PS5 Pro, which, if you guys didn't know, that's $700. So $700, and we're going to do a couple of different builds today. We're going to do an all-AMD PC. We'll do an Intel PC, which would have an Intel and an Nvidia Intel CPU, Nvidia GPU, and then we'll do a little scouring on eBay and see if we can find some used parts to bring that price down. So much money. I mean, when it comes to building a modern PC, like $700 isn't a lot. Like you can get individual components that cost more than $700. I'm not saying it's not a lot of money to have in your hands and be able to use, but in terms of like average PC costs for a new build, it's not a lot. What do you guys think? What do you guys think for an all AMD PC? What do you guys think is the CPU we could fit in there? Or should we just start going? Is a 32-inch monitor good for gaming for Warzone? Personally, I prefer a smaller monitor, like 24 or 27-inch. All right, let's just actually, let's just get started. Let's just get started. So here we go. We're going on PC Part Picker to just, find an easy way to, find parts. So we're going to start AMD. I think there's no way we're going to go AM5, right? Like, we got to go AM4 for AMD. So you think, oh, you think for Intel, you think what, like a i7 6850K? We're not going to be able to find that in a new, like, we're not going to be able to find any of those new. Maybe if we go with a used PC, but that's old, man. I think we can find something newer than that. All right, so let's go. We're going to go AM4. We're going to do this. First build is going to be all AMD, right? So we're going to go, let's find an AM4 socket. So it's only going to show us stuff for AM4. All right. I'm hoping we can get, you know, at least like a Ryzen 5000 series. So this Ryzen 5 3600. So I think we go with like this Ryzen 5 5500. $80 for a new CPU. I think we start with that. I think we start with this $80 CPU. This is awesome because it comes with its own CPU cooler, so we don't even need to spend money on a CPU cooler. So let's jump straight to the motherboard. Let's see what we got here. We're gonna put it on cheapest price. I'm gonna make sure we get at least like a B series motherboard. So let's do that. All right. BioStar. I don't see many of those around. Asus Prime B450. How about this? An ASRock B550 HDV. You can have up to 64 gigs of RAM. It's a little micro ATX. It's a B550 chipset, which is a little bit nicer than these B450s. And it's only $75. Let's start with that. What would you recommend if I use PS5 and would like to stream at a higher bit rate, like 20K for more detail in your slower paced games? You mean like what computer would you use? Because I mean for something like that, I imagine you have to be streaming to a computer, right? Like you have to use a computer to stream. Realistically, you can't stream at 20K. Like there aren't any sites. I mean, YouTube maybe can support it at 1440p if you have that available to you. But the most you can really do on most sites is 8K. So really all you can do is like 8K. If you're streaming at 1080p, 6K to 8K is usually about the max that you're able to do and upload. Now, if you're recording, that's another story. Recording, you can do at much higher bit rates, but 240 hertz work for PS5. PS5 can't go up to 240 hertz. I think 120 is the max. All right, so we've got our CPU and motherboard, and we're at $155, which isn't bad, to be honest. Let's pick some RAM. I think we're just going to go with like 16 gigs of RAM. Some advice, please. Ask away. I am happy to try and answer any questions. So we're going to go 2 times 8 gigs. We'll start with that, and then if we can go up to a 32 gig kit, then we'll do it. We'll go 3600, and then we'll go cast latency 16. So we got some G-Skill Ripjaws here. Those are only $36. Done. Done and dusted. Right there. Easy. Okay, so we're up to a total of $191. I know if you're on the vertical stream, you can't see it. I wanted to make it to where at least you guys would be able to see the tally here, rather than just like seeing a random section of the center. Okay, storage. Here's where I think we're going to spend a little bit more to make it, something worthwhile. So we're going to go, M.2 SSD, and we're going to go full terabyte. Full terabyte M.2 SSD. We'll make sure we get it from a decent company. Patriot makes pretty decent stuff, but we'll go Crucial. It's only a couple dollars more. I really like Crucial's stuff there. So $57. That puts us at a total of $248. That's not bad. You have an i3 6100, which is a dual-core CPU with 16 gigs, 1600 megahertz RAM, and 240 watt power supply. So it's an old OEM. You're considering buying a GPU. I don't know if your power supply can handle either of those. Hold on. TDP of a GTX 1650. 75 watts. Yeah, like a GTX 1650 like has a recommended power supply size of 300, and a 3050 is gonna be higher. Are you willing to upgrade your power supply to try and make it work? Your PC goes black screen after you try and sign into Windows. Yeah, okay, so 70 watt. Okay, so they're basically in the same, basically kind of in the same boat there. You can probably get away with it. I would personally go with the 3050. It's on a newer platform. And we could look at this. Watch this. Pretty cool website here. User benchmarks. Oh. Computer froze for half a second there. So here we go. RTX 3050 plus 74% in it. User benchmark. You guys can't see it all on the vertical stream, but 60% average score with rendering, 50% better overclock score. It's more recent, better details. So I would say if you can get them for a similar price, 3050 is the way to go. Your PC goes black screen after you try and sign into Windows. It's really hard to be able to tell without actually seeing it myself, you know? It could be any number of things. If it fires up and you can sit at your Windows screen for a while and then it doesn't do anything once you sign in, it could be any number of things. It's hard to say. Says you're in need of recovery. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna no matter what, you're probably gonna be bottlenecked by your CPU. Like it's pretty old. But I mean, if you want to be able to play games, like you're going to be able to play more games than you can now without having any sort of discrete GPU. Yeah, I'm not really sure, Raw. That's something that like you would definitely need to like bring to somebody. Will I build the PC? Probably not. I mean, we could do like a fundraise for doing a PC giveaway for it, but how do you get to advanced BIOS? Is this a laptop or a desktop? And is it a OEM like type build or is it a custom build? What up, Star? How we doing? It's a desktop. All right, so we need an AMD GPU. Where are we at? We're at total spending. We're at like $300. I think we'll go like 6650. An RX 6650. Let's see, how much does that cost? Oh, they're just not really available, but we can get one of these for $235. Done. So that puts us at a total of just under $500, and all we need is a power supply and a case. Oh, we're looking good. We're looking good for this. It's an OEM desktop. You might not be able to access the advanced BIOS if it's an OEM system, because they like lock everything down. You want a state-of-the-art Gooner state? What is a Gooner station? What is a gooning pod? Am I gonna look at something nasty? Am I looking at gooning pod? I have no idea what you're talking about. All right, let's choose a case. So we've got about $200 between our case and our power supply. So let's find a nice little budget case here. One that's got decent airflow. Ooh, that's a nice looking little case. Antec NX500. I like Antec stuff. They make good looking little computers. Or cases, I guess I should say. That's kind of nice looking. It doesn't have RGB. But for $700, do you really need RGB? No? Oh, that's cool looking too. Okay, we're gonna go with this one. $53. Easy. Easy. I just looked up gooning. Nope. You can do that on your own. I'm not making one of those. You just earned yourself a sub. Hey, thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate that. Talk ZGT about a Sama case. Pretty cheap, around 50 bucks. Oh, I didn't think I saw one in there. Maybe I missed it. Okay, so our 6650 XT. I'm trying to remember there was a TDP here. 180 watts. And then this is about another 60 watts. So honestly, a 650 watt power supply is like plenty for this. We'll go 80 plus gold. Go with the 650 watt power supply. Let's see how it does. FSP makes good stuff. They make a bunch of stuff for like OEMs that you just don't ever see. Excuse me. Well, let's do Corsair. $80. That only puts us at $615. I think we upgrade our CPU. So we had a 5500. What if we get like a 5700X? Can we afford that? It's 160 bucks. I don't know if we can quite afford that, because now if we get a 5700X, now we can't get a cooler, and I'm a little worried about using it doesn't have a stock cooler. Okay, so let's click Ryzen 5 over here. Let's go with, we got a 5600X, 124 bucks. Perfect. That gives us $40 for a CPU cooler, and I know we can get a good CPU cooler for way less than that. Honestly, Thermalright Assassin, RGB. We're gonna spend the extra dollar and we'll get a little RGB. We still have $23. $23. Should we try and upgrade our RAM for $23? I don't know if we can do that. I don't know if we can get 32 gigs of RAM. Think we can find any RAM kits for that cheap? Seal 18, 3600. So, okay, Team Group T-Force Vulcan, $55. Where does that put us at? $697. Oh, that is on the money. That is on the money. What's up, Charlie? How we doing? Excited for the Black Friday PC deal again. That was a good stream idea. Yeah, I need to do that again too, huh? What up, Richard? How we doing? Yeah, Star Smoth. We're not gonna talk about gooning ever again. That's for sure. Okay, so here's our All-AMD build. Let's put the link here. I'm gonna split these up and I'll put the list in here. Oh gosh, it's on full screen still. Okay, so AMD PC got 124 for the CPU. That's Ryzen 5 5600X. Whew, that's nice. CPU cooler $19. I'm all right. Just call it that. Motherboard $75. Got memory. We got 32 gig of. Oh, didn't mean to put that there. $55. 32 gigabytes CL18 3600. Storage $57. 1 terabyte Crucial P3. Am I streaming on Twitch and YouTube? I'm streaming on Kick and YouTube right now. Your PC is still running great. Love to hear that, Charlie. Dude, I'm glad you bought it. What about shipping? So this is if you were going to build it yourself for $700. This is not me building it for you for $700 because, yeah, we're not including any sort of build cost either. So, all right, $235 for the GPU. That's a 6650 XT case. We got the $53, and we got the Antec NX 500M. Power supply, $80. Corsair, $650. All right, so that puts us at roughly $698. Get our little dollar signs here. All right, so that's not a bad little build. I mean, it's a 1080p gaming build for sure. You know, that's 1080p gaming. It's not 1440p, but like that's a solid gaming PC. You could easily play any game you want on this system. 100%. What up, Explosive? Yeah, okay, so now Intel PC. So we're Intel PC. We're gonna go Intel and Nvidia. Intel and Nvidia. I think what we'll do the first round with AMD and Intel, and then I'll get your guys' feedback and see what you think that we can do maybe differently. All right, so we'll get rid of the CPU, we'll get rid of the motherboard, we'll get rid of the GPU, and then maybe we'll start with everything staying the same here, and then we can make changes if we need to. All right, so we're gonna go Intel, we're gonna go LGA 1700. And then we'll bring it down by price. So we ended up spending, what, $125 or so on our CPU on the last one. You don't get a lot for that sort of price with Intel, do we? We've got a i5 12400, so 6-core. I mean, that's pretty similar in terms of overall performance. The 12600KF would be nice. Let's see if we can make the 12600KF work. It's $140. We've got our CPU cooler still. Let's see what we can do for... Ooh. Yeah, okay. LGA 1700 socket. We can do this B660 here from ASRock. That's honestly almost exactly the same as the one we have. Okay, so we've got $200 roughly for an Intel or for an Nvidia GPU. Yeah, we're not gonna get we can't even get like a 3060 or a 4060 for that price. So 3050, I guess. Ugh, 3050 is rough. I think we go older generation for that. What do you guys think? It's crazy that $700 US amounts to 12,500 in your currency. Where are you from? What kind of frames do you think you would get with that in Warzone? For this guy, we've built very similar computers to this, and at 1080p, we usually average around 130-ish in 1080p. Like 130-ish to 150 is about what we were averaging with that in Warzone. That was with a 4060, but I think that's pretty comparable in terms of overall performance to the 6650 XT. I do need advice on monitors, though. Are there any ones out there on a tight budget? 1080p or 1440p, Charlie? What up? How we doing, Wes? MJ, welcome in. Good to see ya. South Africa, huh? What can we do that's around $200? So let's put that at like 140 to 200-ish. Let's put it at like the top end here. 3050. Wow, that's an expensive 3050. 1650 Super. 1650 G6. Like a G6. We could go Intel Arc A750. I almost wonder if that's the play. Do we go Intel Arc instead of an Nvidia GPU? What was that, an A750? I don't know much about the Intel Arcs these days, like if their drivers have gotten any better. Jackson Wildman coming in here. What's up? Government name. Sorry. Sorry. Charlie, what's your budget, and are you looking for 1080p or 1440? I wonder if we go maybe we go with an like an Arc GPU here. Because if we go Nvidia, like we're looking at either something that's pretty old or something that's just like not very good. It's my concern. Like it's weird. It's funny that like the 20 series stuff like doesn't really exist anymore. You have to go all the way back to like a 16 series to find anything. Like we can get a 1660 here, twin fan for 220 bucks. How's that look? Oh, we could do that. Okay, so maybe we go with that. A little 1660. Oh, that puts us over. That's $11 over. I think we have to drop our CPU back down. Like we wanted that, but I think we go back to a 12400. So six core processor. It's still okay. Not bad. Fred loves me too much. Besides, if he did, I'd start calling him by his government name. I mean, if I banned you, you wouldn't be able to call me anything because you'd be gone. Mod me red so I can put Wes in timeout. Thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. Charlie is a legend. Don't let him tell you different. Mod me or I release your government files, Red. I think most people know my name. I don't really hide it. You can only afford $200 to $300 tops. You just bought a car. Oh, I mean, you could definitely get a monitor for that. Check this out. 1440p. Let's go 24 to 27. I would say, oh, hold on, get our refresh rate up. I would say, I mean, I don't really want curved. Oh, we also want to make sure it's an IPS panel. Where do I see IPS panel? There we go. IPS. I would say you go with something like this. MSI Mag 275, 180 hertz, half a millisecond response time. There you go. Get one of those. Less than $200 right now. That's 1440p, 180 hertz, IPS panel, half a millisecond response time. Done. Easy. Get you one of those. Not available on Amazon right now, but you can get it at Best Buy, MSI, Newegg, whatever. There you go. Take a screenshot of that. What does the 1 millisecond on our monitor mean? It's the response time. So it's the time it takes for like when something happens for it to like happen on screen. Okay. Yo, what's up? Welcome over to the YouTube stream, Mr. Mage. What got you into YouTube? Seeing tech YouTubers like you inspires me a lot since I'm really passionate about this kind of stuff. I got into doing the YouTube stuff as just like I wanted to find a cool way to like create content and have it, you know, find a way to monetize like that passion. Obviously, like my main source of income for my business and stuff is always going to be building computers, but I wanted another way to like another outlet for like one, bringing in income as well as having that be like a cool place for me to create content, you know? Took a photo of it. Perfect. You have a Samsung 27-inch. Sad that my old eyes don't get the benefit of having it. Well, you know, there's only so much you can do about your own eyes, right? I know what GPU the Pro's getting. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So this is our Intel build. We got 125 here for the CPU. We got 19. 89, 55, 57, 220, 53, and 80. Okay. So this, we got a i5 12400. Not the greatest gaming CPU, but it's fine. Thermal right. ASRock B660M. 32 gigs of RAM. CL18 3600.
Old Tom.
Old Tom's running a little rough right now. I don't know what's going on. We've got a GTX 1660. Same Antec NX 500M. The same Corsair 650.
Quit putting diesel fuel in Old Tom.
Old Tom wouldn't be running at all if I used diesel fuel. Also, this music is terrible. Yeah. So, now you can see it. We've got our Intel. Those really come out to the same price. Nice. Nice. Yo, what up, Space Face? How we doing? It's weird. Old Tom starts up really well when he's cold. And then I drove it 30 minutes home from the golf course yesterday. And then I was like, there was nothing to eat at home. And my wife was like, well, you should just go get some food. And so I tried to leave and Old Tom wouldn't start. So apparently he runs better cold. I don't know. It's weird. Just chilling. Love that. 698. What's labor? This is not if I'm building it for you and shipping it to you. This is if you wanted to build your own computer instead of a PS5 Pro. This is what I think you could do. Now, what do we think we can do differently here? We're looking at yeah, I can zoom in for you old farts like Wes. What do we feel like we could do differently here for these systems? I feel like, I mean, we definitely nailed the price. Like, there's no doubt about that. So 5600X. I mean, you know, we could you know, maybe save a little money on our power supply, go back to 16 gigs of RAM, and then try and get like a better GPU. Should we see that? Should we see how that looks? Should we try that? Do we want to see how that looks with like a bronze, like a 650 80 plus bronze power supply, maybe just 16 gigs of RAM, and see if we can upgrade the GPU a little bit? What do you think of that? I resent that old farts comment. You're now in your 30s too, aren't you? Yeah, it was definitely pointed at Wes. 100% just pointed at Wes, not me, or not you. Trying to save money and buy your parts. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Let's take a look. Let's start with the AMD build here. So we're gonna go back to 16 gigs of RAM, because realistically, that's enough. It's enough for most people, especially if it's a budget PC, right? All right. So G-Skill Ripjaws. So $36. Let's go with a 650 watt power supply that's 80 plus bronze. We can save a few bucks here. EVGA is great. EVGA makes really good stuff. Oh, this is a 700 watt? Done. For $62? I don't really want to go with the 5500 because it's a much slower processor. Like, I want that 5600X because it's like a much better CPU. I don't want to go with like an unbalanced system, you know? I am due to buy a brand new computer, actually customized built instead. My computer's from 2007. I would say it's probably time to get a new one. CL ratings, it's cast latency. It's basically just a singular look at the overall like latency of the RAM. So there's two things to look at when you're looking at RAM, and maybe it'll help if we find it, but like so okay, that was not what I wanted. Okay, whatever. RAM speeds, compatibility. Here you go. So you can see like there's RAM speeds. So you've got like, this is your overall speed, but then you also have latency. So your like effective data transfer like speed is your actual speed, but then it's tied into your latency. So if you have, for instance, a CL16 3600 kit of RAM, it's technically the exact same RAM speed overall as a CL16. Did I say CL16? I meant CL18. CL18 3600 is the same thing technically as CL16 3200. So it's just a way of expressing latency of your RAM. So RAM speed is not the end-all be-all. You want something with good RAM speed and low latency. Sorry, that was a terrible way to explain it, but like my brain isn't working well enough to try and explain it better. Maybe someone in chat can explain it better right now. Oh, you take the PC build over the Pro for sure? Yeah. What up, Fadeaway? How we doing? Oh, you guys, I've been sitting here and I haven't been drinking my whiskey at all. Well, if you're not building it yourself and you want someone to build it for you, you found the right place, Parkinson. On top of that, I need an external SSD driver because you travel and film in 4K. Need to save your video folders into that. Do you use an external SSD or do you use an external like what are those called? The ones that go into cameras. Getting baked and thinking about cake. Now we're talking. Okay, so now we have just shy of $300, $425. So we have just shy of $300 to buy a GPU, and this is for our AMD system. So I think we could get like a 6700 or RX. There we go. I think we could get like a 6700 XT, yeah, for that sort of price. Oh, they're not available like anywhere. Okay, so those are not available. Let's just see what's available here. So a 7600 XT is still going to put us at $310. What does that put us overall pricing? So $310, that's $35 we have to cut out of our system. Yeah, if we did that, we would have to cut back on our. It's a trap. Yo, Ragbolt, 7 months of being a subscriber on Kick. Thank you so much. Okay, yeah. So it's a yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. I don't think you need a driver for it. I think you can just get a. I don't think you need anything special for it. Like, I'm pretty sure you can just connect them up via USB, right? You don't even need anything special. Wish I lived near you and pay you to build me the top range PC possible. I mean, I ship stuff all over the country. If you're in the US, I ship stuff all over the place. Like, I don't build a lot of stuff locally. It's all shipped out. Would a B450 motherboard work with this build? Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Yeah, now that you say that, let's see. Maybe we can get a little bit cheaper motherboard. ASRock B450 HDV R4, $60. All right. This is literally the cheapest motherboard possible. I mean, it looks okay. You know, it is a motherboard, 2 slot, 2 DIMMs. You know, we got power. We got a USB 3. Got some SATAs. All right. Good call. Good call. So that puts us at $60. Now we're down to $720. Okay. The 5600X does not come with... Does the 5600X come with the... Oh, it does. The 5600X comes with its own cooler, doesn't it? Integrated graphics, blah, 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 blah. Includes CPU cooler. All right. All right. $701. I think that's close enough that we give it a pass, right? $701. I think that's a pass. 700 versus 701. Call me crazy, but that feels like it's a green light, you know? Oops. Okay, so let's see what we got here differently. So we still got that. We've got no CPU cooler. We've got a $60 ASRock B450M. We went to 16 gigs of RAM for $36. Okay, same 1 terabyte SSD, and then here we went with a $310. Was this a 7600 XT? And then we went with a $62 DVGA 700 bronze for $700. 5800X is just a little bit too expensive for the bill. Why is this music so bad, you guys? Good Lord. I'm sorry, I don't know what is going on. I just skipped it down there, I don't know. Okay. Anyways. How about DVD Blu-ray player added? Again, I would get one of those as an external USB to optical drive. Because most cases these days don't come with a slot for it. Like, there's no space for it. And so I would say we would just go with a USB to optical drive. That's what I would say to do. How much is the PS5 Pro? Is $700. Oh, sorry, Goofy, I didn't say it. How can I see how many months you've been a subscriber? Okay, you figured it out. Yeah, I have to remember this since I haven't got a new PC. Yeah, a lot has changed since 2007 for sure. 18 months. Hey, it's crazy I've been on Kick for that long. Okay. So there we go. $702, give or take, for that. Honestly, I think you guys are right. I think that might be a better build. The really cheap B450 motherboard does concern me just a little bit, but I think overall, that's a better system. So, my metaphorical hat is off to you guys. Isn't it Country Friday? Yeah, but I'm live on YouTube right now too, so I can't play anything with copyright. Okay, so let's see if we can do something similar with the Intel build here. The problem with the Intel build is that Intel's integrated cooler is literally worthless. Like, it's just terrible. But I think we could go with maybe a cheaper. Oh gosh, I think maybe we can go with a cheaper CPU cooler. You're saying, Red, it's already only $19. How could you go cheaper? Oh, we can. ID cooling, even this with heat pipe, like just having heat pipes makes it better, you know. So Thermalright Assassin, done. $17. Honestly, we could go with this one. $15. Okay. We'll go to that same 16 gig kit of RAM. Let's do that first. Okay. And then I think we do the same thing with our power supply here. $700 watt power supply. Okay. So that gives us, ooh, we just saved $50. That gets us into, so if we take our GPU out of here, $270. That is a much healthier budget for a GPU. Look at that, 3060. I mean, we have to go with a 3060, right? Like, I don't think we can get a 4060. We can't get a 4060 for that price. We can get a 3060. Look at that. $260. We have $4 to spare. And we might even be able to save. Ooh, what if we can save a little bit more money on a motherboard? You think we can get close enough? No, not really. It's already $80. Never mind. Okay, we'll keep it. I was wondering if maybe we could save enough on a motherboard that we could get a 4060, but I don't think it's possible. I mean, that's a good looking little system. Let's take a look at that. So we have a new cooler, so $15 cooler, better than the AMD cooler, I will say. Same motherboard. Put this over here. We went with the $260 RTX 3060. Great thing there. $697, you guys. That's pretty banging. How long do you think the 30 series GPUs can last? You mean as far as like being a viable GPU? I mean, several more years probably. Yeah, this would be if you wanted to build this yourself. This is not cost if I was building it for you, for sure. But don't worry, Mark. After we finish doing like this part of the stream, and we go switch to playing some games with Rytech, we'll play some country. You've got a deep cool for sale. Make sure the tower is a full covered side panel. Usually stick with full towers. One I have costs you $450. That's a lot for a tower. You can get a good full tower for less than that these days. But Lee makes great stuff, so I mean, no complaints there. Yeah, I mean, do you want to build it yourself, or do you want, like, would you rather someone do all of it for you? Rytech is doing customs. So, I mean, if you want to hop in and play customs, it should be more fun than playing pubs. What do we think of this, you guys? This feels like a pretty solid build list. Should we scour eBay to see if we can find anything used? I'm thinking if we scour eBay, like we look for CPU and GPU. Like everything else, keep new. CPU, GPU. Leave it like that. Oh, I mean, like, I would rather, like I build it and just ship it to you. That's what I do that's what I do with all my builds. Like I just build it and ship it. Yeah. So like we can definitely like work together to figure out, you know, everything that you want in the system. Like I'm more than happy to like go back and forth and, you know, make sure that you're totally happy with everything that's in the system, because I do a lot of custom stuff. And then basically you pay for it, I build it, ship it to you. Oh, you're in Australia. Oh. That does increase the price of shipping a bit. I can do it. It turns like your average shipping cost for like a high-end system from like $100-ish to like almost $400. US. I think the last time I checked it was like $300 US, something like that. Is that my other computer that made that noise? Hold on. That's weird. Yeah, and then you have to add import tax. I mean, technically, you're going to be paying those prices, like the import tax costs and stuff, no matter what, because somewhere down the line, someone had to import it. But I agree. So, yeah, shoot me a DM if you have some thoughts, and we can, you know. Usually, what I would do is like $20 for a curated build list, and I'll put that all together for you, and then yeah, either you can have somebody locally build it for you or whatever. Cool. Yeah, should we look for like any used parts, or like I would feel much happier being able to build with all new things for $700. And honestly, these are pretty decent stabs at a new build. Granted, performance is probably not going to be to the same level as a PS5 Pro. That's just, unfortunately, that's kind of just the way it is. But, long term, in terms of upgradability, flexibility, and what you can do with it, not having to pay a monthly fee to access online stuff, it's kind of better than a PS5. So for this PC, what else is missing? Any other add-ons? I mean, besides like monitors and stuff, but that doesn't come with a PS5 either. The only other thing that doesn't come, that like a PS5 comes with, that this doesn't, is a controller. That is the downside. So you're paying $700 and you still have to buy a controller. Oops. What up, my head? How we doing? Yeah, I feel like we did a pretty good job here. For $700, I'd go with the PC. I would too. Personally, I mean, I know like I build computers and like that's kind of a given that I should say that. But if it was $500, I would be going with the console. If I other than trying to find a bunch of used stuff, like for $500, I would be going console. But for this, $700, like that's a 7600 XT or a 3060. Like, come on, like those are perfect for gaming. One thing I didn't see people talk about is that PS5 Pro have a 2 terabyte SSD. Do they have a 2 terabyte SSD? That's pretty impressive. What kind of router would you be putting with these machines? A NetDuma, obviously. I'm just kidding. You can put anything with it, honestly. Like, I would say you just size your router according to the internet speed you're able to get. You can look up the PS5 Pro specs since we're talking about it. There you go. 2 terabytes of storage. My head is right. Usually what I would consider and think about with your router is just making sure that it can support like whatever speeds you're going to be paying for from your ISP is really the main thing. And then just, get it from a good company like TP-Link, Asus, trying to remember, Netgear. Just make sure you're getting it from a reputable brand, and like that's really all that matters. I don't have anything super fancy. I don't have a gaming router. Like they're just router's a router, Linksys, thank you, RK. Linksys is another great option. A home mesh is really nice too. I have that at home because I don't have anything hardlined at home anymore. Now that like I don't have all of this in my office. If you don't do a lot of stuff that you need hardlined into your router, like a home mesh Wi-Fi system is not that expensive anymore. I bought a Linksys Hold on. Let me spell Linksys. There we go. I bought I think this Linksys mesh Wi-Fi system. Yeah, it's like 150 bucks. You get two whatever these things are called. 2 points, nodes they call them. Access points, I think was the word I was looking for. You get two nodes. So you have one that sits right next to the modem. That's because it's hard connected to the modem. And then you put one at, like, you know, at a decent distance away from it in the house. And then, like, I have great coverage all throughout my house now. It's incredible. Nodes. Thank you, everyone. Everyone knows the word node except me, okay? I'm sorry. A base and satellite. Yeah, I think they used to use a different term that, like, I don't think we're allowed to use anymore. But, yeah. I think you're right, Richard. You just priced out a PC build or PZ build? It's a PZ. You've been super disappointed in your Google routers you got? Oh yeah. I have in here in the office, they gave me like a free mesh Wi-Fi thingamajig through CenturyLink, which is now called something fiber, quantum fiber. They said at some point they're going to start charging me a monthly fee for it. Whenever that happens, I'll just get rid of them. They can have them back. But I have not been super impressed with them either. So in here, I can do it with a single router. Like I can just get a single router in the other room where it comes in from the wall. And then I have a network switch against the wall back there to like feed some of this stuff. And so if I need more ports, I can always just either run some extra from my router or like not utilize my network switch and use just my router for a while. I don't know. So people calling it $200 extra are not true. Don't get me wrong. I think it's overpriced. I think it should cost $650 or something. Yeah. I'm not sure also on the PS5 Pro, like how much of the actual hardware inside that they've changed. Like they obviously are not going to tell anybody what it actually does. They're just going to say it's better. Other than like the amount of storage, because storage is something that's easily verifiable by everyone as soon as you look at it. But like, they're not going to tell you anything else about it. They're just going to say it's better. It's the Pro, and just expect you to believe them that it's better. Yeah. I don't know. I'm curious to know what's actually inside of it. You just updated yours from that to the Wi-Fi 7 version. Oh, of the Linksys? Is this a Wi-Fi 6 version? Oh, yeah, it is a Wi-Fi 6 version. I don't feel like I have anything that actually supports Wi-Fi 7 yet. Like in terms of hardware stuff. Oh, you keep saying PZ and I always forget. Project Zero. Yeah? Are we gonna do a Project Zero build, Richard? Are we gonna do a Project Zero build? You should message me about that, because I feel like we could make a good deal for the Project Zero build. You know, we'll make some good videos and stuff out of it, you know? Do you remember that show called Computer Chronicles? Love the theme music to it. I don't think I ever saw that. What is that? Computer Chronicles. Oh, that's an old show. I was 1 year old when this show released, so I didn't really watch it. Sorry. If you don't mind me asking, are you streaming in another platform too? Yes. So my head. So I have 2 streams up on YouTube. I've got the horizontal one, which you are on, which I am very happy that you're there because I get better ad rev there. I have a vertical stream on YouTube as well, and then I'm also live on Kick. Imagine adding Windows 95. I remember it so well. The fresh smell of brand new computers with plastic all over it. That was your thoughts exactly? Good content thoughts? Yeah. They changed one chip and called it a Pro? Yeah, they changed the SSD and they called it a Pro. I don't know. They probably did more than that, but kind of what it feels like, right? Yeah. Shoot me a DM. I mean, maybe not right now, but like shoot me a DM. Let's talk about it. What up, my moon? My moon? Welcome in. Yeah. I just upgraded my GPU on my gaming PC. And by upgrade, I mean I got rid of my GPU that was quite literally falling apart and moved to one that was not doing that. Am I going to go place customs? Yeah, we're going to play customs here in a little bit. I just figured I'm going to, we'll hang out for a little bit before we switch over there. I don't think no one has screensaver on the PC anymore. I don't think so. Dude, the screensavers were mesmerizing back in the day. They were so great. You could just sit there. I mean, as a kid, I remember just sitting there watching screensavers for like many, many minutes before you're like, all right, I'm going to go do something else. I'm doing good, Mamoon. I'm doing good. How are you? The only screensaver who still does it has to be TV news media at the office. Yeah. Doing good? Glad to hear that. What do you guys think? You think we call it here on the PC stuff stream? I mean, you guys can always keep asking PC stuff, but think we should hop over and play some customs with Rytech? What do we think? It will mean the end of the YouTube stream. This SSD and approximately 40% stronger. Did they say 40% stronger? That's the way I see it. If you don't have a PS5, then the Pro is not worth it. But if you have the PS5, then don't upgrade. Yeah, for sure. Honestly, I feel like that's probably what they're going for anyways. Like, all right, we'll get a refresh so that we can find a way to charge a little bit more for it. We'll make it a little bit better, make it noticeably, like, visually different, and then that's it. But honestly, here's the thing. I know for Xbox, like Microsoft, it was this way, and I'm sure it's the same thing for PlayStation. They don't make money. They don't make anything on their consoles. Console sales do not make companies money. It's crazy. I know it's crazy. It sounds like I know I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but just listen. Like, hear me out. PlayStation makes their money, and Microsoft makes their money on Game Pass, whatever it is that PlayStation pay. I don't know if PlayStation you still have to pay for like being able to access like online games and stuff, but Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Live, that and just like the cost of buying actual games, that's where PlayStation and Microsoft make all of their money. Or Sony, sorry. That's where Sony and Microsoft make all their money. They make a ton of money on, like, they get some chunk out of every single game and everything that gets sold on their platforms. Software. They make money on software. The hardware is like they sell a good amount of them. They do high enough volume that they don't lose a ton of money, and they take the hit on the actual sale of the console, and then they just make an absolute ton of money on all of the software that they sell. That's really it. i5 12th gen and a 5700 XT. The 5000 series GPUs are getting pretty old these days. I don't know if that's what I don't know if I would pick one of those. But we already went with an i5 12th gen here, and like, you don't get a lot. There's not a lot. Like, I think you could do better than a 5700 XT. I don't know if you'll be able to find one new. I feel like this system's better than a 5700 XT with an i5. After Concord, they had to make it more expensive. Sorry, you're back. The wife called. Hey, no problem, Mark. I'm doing nothing in his. I know I am resting, but I need 6 followers. Can you get it? I mean, if people want to go over there and follow, it's fine. But I don't really do follow for follow kind of stuff. It's not really the way to grow a community, you know? Okay. I think it's time, folks. Okay, we already saved that. I think it's time. Let's go play some custom games with Mr. Rytech. And we are going to call it here on the YouTube streams. If you're on YouTube and you want to keep hanging out and keep asking and talking about PCs, I'm more than welcome. You're more than welcome to sit and ask about PCs and talk about PCs, even if we're gaming. I love talking about computers all the time. But we're not going to do gaming content here on YouTube. So if you want to keep watching, go over to kick.com/redneck engineer, and that's where we'll be live for the rest of the night. Okay? All right. Appreciate everybody for hanging out. This was a lot of fun. The GPU power is not enough for those CPUs. Yes, it is. It's a pretty good balance, actually. All right. No, Varginson, we're still gonna be live on Kick. So, I mean, you can leave if it's not, if you don't want to like watch gaming or whatever anymore. Then that's fine. But yeah, we're gonna call it here on the PC portion of the stream. So send link to live stream. Sure. And there's Kick also has an app, so if you want to go to the app, you can do that too. You have to go to the shops. All right, Varginson, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate you coming in all the way from Australia. Say hi to Drew Dog. I'm sure you guys are friends because everyone in Australia has friends. Have a good night. We'll see you later. Okay. You're welcome, Uday. Okay, we're gonna end the YouTube live streams here. If you're on Kick, don't leave. If you're on YouTube, go to Kick. Okay, bye.